618 making yet another YouTube video. As you can see, we're back with Mass Effect Remastered. Or rather, Mass Effect Legendary Edition, sorry. This is part 3, and we'll try and get through all of this. See how it goes.
That's him.
Those were Sharon's men.
All targets down.
It's true. I wish it remains. Now, of course, we can meet with some of the patrons, as you can see. Some others we can't really interact beyond, you know, basic hello, like if I speak to her.
Sorry, I'll get to you when I can.
Or him.
Go away. I'm not interested in talking.
Back off, Rex. Fist told us to take you down if you showed up.
What are you waiting for? I'm standing right here. This is Fist's only chance. If he's smart, he'll take it.
He's not coming out, Rex. End of story.
This story is just beginning. Out of my way, humans. I have no quarrel with you.
What was that all about?
Who knows? Let's just try not to get caught in the middle.
Did anyone else notice that's the bouncer up there and Rex over there? That, you know, the bouncer had bigger eyes than Rex? Or was that just me? I can't tell. Hello, son of a bitch.
Alliance military. I could have been a Marine, you know. Instead, I joined the goddamn Citadel security. Biggest mistake of my life.
Mistake was that they hired you.
Harkin, right? I was told you could help me find someone. A Turian C-Sec officer named Garrus.
Garrus? You must be one of Captain Anderson's crew. Poor bastard, still trying to bring Saren down, huh? I know where Garrus is, but you gotta tell me something first. Did the captain let you in on his big secret?
Is there something I should know about the captain?
The captain used to be a Spectre. Didn't know that, did you? It was all very hush-hush. The first human ever given that honor, and then he blew it. Screwed up his mission so bad they kicked him out. Of course, he blames Saren. Says the Turians set him up.
Because it's true.
Why'd they kick him out?
Have to ask him. I never heard any of the details. Bet it's a good story, though. The heroes fall. Classic tragedy.
You said they covered all this up. How'd you hear about it?
I spent 20 years working cases here on the Citadel. People on this station love to talk. Secrets are like herpes. If you got them, you might as well spread them around.
Oh, I feel like I need a shower.
Just noticed that now, did you?
Why should I believe a drunk like you?
Fine, ask Anderson. I bet he tells you. He's too stupid and proud to lie right to your face.
I feel almost legitimately ill with his analogy.
Just tell me where Garrus went.
Garrus was sniffing around Dr. Michelle's office. She runs the med clinic on the other side of the wards. Last I heard, he was going back there.
How well do you know Captain Anderson?
Met him a few times over the years. One of those hardcore military guys. Yes, sir. No, sir. Can't have any fun with a stick up your ass, sir. That's probably why he climbed the Alliance ranks so fast. The military loves brown-nosers.
The captain's a good soldier.
Sure, whatever. Dress him in a fancy suit, pin some shiny medals on his chest, and call him a hero. Everybody else does. But if he's so great, why'd the Spectres kick him out? Why'd you go ask him about that?
You need to look in a mirror. Sober up and take some responsibility for yourself.
Save your sermons. This ain't no church.
Clearly, yeah.
What do you know about Garrus?
Damn hothead is what he is. Still figures he can save the world. Always bucking heads with the Executor. He'll pay for it soon enough. The Executor loves to put us lowly field agents in our place. Just look what happened to me.
Yeah, and you deserted. So, just as sad. And here's
What's it
why.
like working for CSEC?
You mean, what was it like? The Executor suspended me without pay. Recurring violations. CSEC was keeping a file on me. Can you believe that?
Yes.
Every mistake I ever made went into the books. Get a little rough with a suspect, note in the file. Have a couple of drinks on duty, note in the file. Skim a couple of credits off a drug bust, note in the file. It's a goddamn witch hunt.
See, this is why I don't really like him.
You got off easy, if you ask me.
What the hell do you know? Working for CSEC isn't like being a Marine. People get pissed off if we shoot somebody. Investigations, inquiries, rules, regulations. Every day I plow through enough red tape to choke a rhino. That's how you gotta be to do this job. So don't talk to me about right and wrong. You soldiers got it easy.
You need to look in a mirror. Sober up and take some responsibility for yourself.
Save your sermons. This ain't no church.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, good. Go. Let me drink in peace.
What sucks about that so much is that Harkin sort of plays into the negative qualities of being a police officer now. You know, not every police officer is like that. I've actually met quite a few, and they're really nice guys.
Captain Anderson, tell us he used to be Spectre.
Maybe it's not true. Harkin's an ass. Bet he's just messing with our heads.
You're probably right. Still, I'd like to hear what the captain has to say about all this.
He's not an arse, he's a piece of shit. He's what comes out of the arse, and he's probably even less than that. A piece of shit probably has more worth than Harkin. I'm sorry, I don't mean to, you know, hammer too deep into, Harkin. Though it actually makes me, think. Sorry. So there's one place I'm going to go to before visiting the main clinic. It's down here. It actually makes me think, I was watching a set of, like a blooper reel of a show, and, you know, I always enjoy seeing the bloopers because it allows a better chance to disconnect the actor from the character, because a lot of people still have issues doing that. Some people, like some actors, play villains so well that, you know, they become so hated just because of their characters. And, you know, that's stupid on one hand, but, you know, you gotta respect the talent. The fact that they played such a convincing villainous role. You know, I feel bad for them, obviously. So we're going to talk to Barla Von.
What's this? One of the Earth Clan. Ah, a very famous one, yes? You are the one called Shepard. It is a great honor to welcome the heroes of the Blitz.
You've got me at a disadvantage here.
Forgive me, Earth Clan. My name is Barla Von. My job makes it necessary for me to keep informed. I am a financial advisor to many important clients here on the Citadel. When someone as important as yourself arrives on the station, I take notice.
See, I actually like Barla Von because he's very polite and he's, you know, very forthright.
I've heard you work for the Shadow Broker. Do you have any information about Saren?
You're very blunt, Shepard. But you're right. I am an agent for the Shadow Broker, and I do know something about Saren.
I hear your information can be expensive.
Normally, this information would cost a small fortune, but these are exceptional circumstances, so I am going to give it to you for free.
What's the catch?
There is no catch. The Shadow Broker is quite upset with Saren right now. They used to do a lot of business until Saren turned on him.
That's what happens when you deal with a traitor like Saren.
No matter what you think of Saren, he's not stupid. He knows the Shadow Broker is a valuable ally. Turning on him doesn't make sense. Not unless something huge was at stake. I don't know the details, but the Shadow Broker hired a freelancer to deal with it. A Krogan mercenary.
Oh yes, Krogan.
I think I know him. His name's Rex.
Yes, I believe he's the one. I heard he was paying a visit to Citadel Security. If you hurry, you might catch him before he leaves the C-Sec Academy.
Isn't it strange that a Krogan would want to speak with C-Sec?
Very. However, I doubt the visit was entirely his choice. You'll need to speak with him if you want to know more.
Tell me more about your job.
Galactic finance is incredibly complex. A mix of laws and regulations from dozens of interstellar economies. I'm an expert in how all these economies interact. For a fee, I share my expertise. I also offer premium services for those clients who need someone to conduct business without drawing unwanted attention. Discreet and efficient. That's my motto.
Sounds pretty shady.
Everything I do falls completely within the bounds of interstellar commerce law. Even so, many of my clients would prefer their transactions remain undisclosed. For example, suppose a Hanar ambassador was petitioning the council to reduce tariffs on Hanar goods. How would it look if he had money invested in a Hanar exporting company? Even if his true motives were to help his people, he would be accused of advancing the petition for his own personal gain. I can keep his personal finances private.
Still sounds shady to me.
Then we can only hope he will never be cursed with a large enough fortune to require my services.
No problem for me.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
Most people think I deal in finances, but my real currency is knowledge. I trade information, and it has made me very wealthy. But the Shadow Broker is the true master. Every day he buys and sells secrets that could topple governments, always giving them to the highest bidder. Yet somehow he never seems to upset the natural balance of power. All those secrets being passed around seem to even out. Nobody ends up with an advantage in the end.
Any guess what his identity might be?
I don't know. Nobody does. The Shadow Broker could be any race, any gender. I have a theory that it's actually an entire group working under one identity. How else could they juggle so many contacts at the same time? How else could they keep all that information from getting crossed? But they've got the perfect setup. Every government is forced to play their game so they don't get behind. But no matter how long you play, no matter how many secrets you buy, you can never win.
I thought you'd know more about the man you work for.
From time to time, I come across information I sell to the Shadow Broker. That's my only involvement. I like it that way. The more you know, the more dangerous the game becomes. I don't like danger, Commander. I'll leave that to you.
What's it like living here on the Citadel?
The station is without a doubt the greatest wonder in the galaxy. It is a technological marvel, but its true splendor goes much deeper than the hull and engines. From the Presidium to the wards, the entire station is a testament to the success of the Council. All the species of Citadel spaced together in a single strong community.
What makes the Presidium so special?
It is the political center of Citadel space. 80% of all intelligent species in the known galaxy acknowledge the Council's authority on interstellar matters. But only the most powerful and influential species have embassies here on the Presidium. This level of the station is reserved for the elite, Shepard. People like us.
What are the wards like?
The cultural heart of the galaxy. They pulse with the lifeblood of millions of citizens from dozens of different species. You never know what you'll find out in the wards, Commander. It's always full of surprises. Fortunately, most of them are pleasant.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
No, actually, if I didn't know about LeBron's theory, I'd be, like, if I didn't know the true identity of the Shadow Broker, I would be inclined to believe Balabon's theory. That's what I meant to say. Because it actually makes sense, if you think about it. how it's a network of spies all working together, you know, to come to one common goal to trade information and whatnot. You know, it all makes sense. Anyways, off to meet Dr. Chloe Michelle. Bonjour.
I didn't tell anyone, I swear!
That was smart, Doc. Now if Garrus comes around, you stay smart. Keep your mouth shut or... Who are you?
Let her go.
Ah!
I had to say, like, supposed to say this. Did they just run out of voices that they decided to use Mark Mear's voice for Shepard and for the thug that Garrus just shot? Yes. Yeah, actually, I forgot. That deals with him.
All targets down.
Perfect
Guys.
timing, Shepard. Gave me a clear shot at that bastard.
What were you thinking? You could have hit the hostage.
There wasn't time to think. I just reacted. I didn't mean to... Dr. Michelle, are you hurt?
No, I'm okay, thanks to you, all of you.
I know those men threatened you, but if you tell us who they work for, we can protect you.
They work for Feast. They wanted to shut me up, keep me from telling Garrus about the Quarian.
Does this have anything to do with the investigation into Saren?
I think it might. Dr. Michelle, tell us what happened.
A few days ago, a Quarian came by my office. She'd been shot, but she wouldn't tell me who did it. I could tell she was scared, probably on the run. She asked me about the Shadow Broker. She wanted to trade information in exchange for a safe place to hide.
Where is she now?
I put her in contact with Fist. He's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
Not anymore.
Oh, he used to be.
Now he works for Saren. And the Shadow Broker isn't too happy about it.
Fist betrayed the Shadow Broker? That's stupid even for him. Saren must have made him quite the offer.
That Quarian must have something Saren wants. Something worth crossing the Shadow Broker to get.
What else can you tell me about the Quarian?
I'm not sure. Like I said, she wanted to trade information for a place to hide. She didn't... Wait a minute. Geth. Her information had something to do with the Geth.
She must be able to link Saren to the Geth. There's no way the Council can ignore this.
Time we paid Fist a visit.
This is your show, Shepard. But I want to bring Saren down as much as you do. I'm coming with you.
You're a Turian. Why do you want to bring him down?
I couldn't find the proof I needed in my investigation, but I knew what was really going on. Saren is a traitor to the Council and a disgrace to my people.
Welcome aboard, Garrus.
You know, we aren't the only ones going after Fist. The Shadow Broker hired a Krogan bounty hunter named Rex to take him out.
Yeah, we saw him in the bar.
A Krogan might come in handy.
Last I heard, he was at the C-Sec Academy.
What's he doing there?
Fist accused him of making threats. We brought Rex in for a little talk. If you hurry, you can catch him at the Academy before he leaves.
Move out.
And now, since I have Garrus Vicarian here, I can make a stack. Oops. I can make a squad selection. I'm going to do this to see if there's any banter between the two. First I'm going to pause. Now I'm not sure if it was mentioned before, but damn it. Oh yes, I'm not sure if it was mentioned before, but the Quarians were actually the ones that made the Geth in the first place. You know, again, if it wasn't mentioned previously. So a lot of people despise the Quarians for making the Geth because the Geth have actually killed lots of people beyond Perseus Vale. And you know, the Quarians... I pity the Quarians obviously because... they just, like they've been evicted from their homeworld by the Geth. By the way, I'm sorry that I paused a little bit earlier when I was leveling up Garrus. I was thinking about the point distribution.
Hey, I know you. You're Shepard, right? I was on Mindwar during the Blitz. Saw you on the vids when you got your medal. You saved the whole colony.
Looks like you have a fan.
I'm sorry, I just never thought I'd meet someone like you in person. My name's Lang, Officer Eddie Lang, Citadel Security. It's an honor to meet you, Commander. What are you doing down here in the wards? Anything I can help you with?
Why'd you join Citadel Security?
I don't know. Seemed like the right thing to do, you know? Maybe it's in my blood. My grandfather was a cop back on Earth. It's kind of what CSEC is. Police for the Citadel. I'm still pretty new at it, but I like it so far. Way more interesting than staying back on Earth. You get to meet all kinds of cool aliens, like those Hanar. Wild. Plus, CSEC gets a lot of respect here. We uphold the law. People, even aliens, appreciate that.
How do you like working here on the Citadel?
This place is amazing. I've been here almost a year, and I still haven't seen a tenth of it. The Presidium's just so beautiful. Good place to go and relax. But I really like it here down in the wards. There's always something going on somewhere. Like that new club they just opened a few months ago, Flux. Wicked scene in there, Commander. You should check it out when you have some time.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Just the stuff they show in the vids. They always make them out to be super agents on secret missions to save the galaxy. I know it's not really like that, though. Some of the other CSEC guys don't like them too much, figure they shouldn't be able to operate outside the law. But if they were so bad, the Council wouldn't use them, right?
Do you know a CSEC officer named Harkin?
I shouldn't really say too much. He's been on the force a lot longer than me. But I've heard things, you know? Drinking on the job, taking bribes, that kind of thing. Rumors mostly, but they suspended him, so some of it must be true.
I have to go.
Right. You're probably real busy. Well, see you around, Commander.
That actually makes me wonder, what about the negative rumors towards Harkin aren't true? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. When trying to find Garrus and or Rex, you can make the choice to either visit Harkin or Barlavon. You don't need to go see both of them. I just visited Barlavon to establish
I'm surprised to see
connection.
you on the front lines, Chief Williams. Most women I've observed in your alliance military serve in support roles.
It's becoming more common, but it took a long time to prove that ladies could handle an assault rifle or a shotgun.
I doubt anyone who saw your skill under fire could remain skeptical.
Well, some women can handle those kinds of weapons better than some men. No doubt about that. Ah, yes, the silverback. Wait. Why? Why am I still hearing elevator music? Just 1 second, I got to upgrade. Now with Garrus, I usually use the same upgrades, you know, motorized joints. I don't really know why, I just choose to do so. Okay, time to focus. Up we go. What's with you? It reminds me of Jack Sparrow, you know?
Witnesses saw you making threats in Fist's bar. Stay away from him.
I don't take orders from you.
This is your only warning, Rex.
You should warn Fist. I will kill him.
You want me to arrest you?
I want you to try.
Let it go.
Go on. Get out of here.
Do I know you, human?
My name's Shepard. I'm going after Fist. Thought you might want to come along.
Shepard. Commander Shepard. I've heard a lot about you. We're both warriors, Shepard. Out of respect, I'll give you a fair warning. I'm going to kill Fist.
Fist knows you're coming. We'll have a better chance if we all work together.
My people have a saying. Seek the enemy of your enemy, and you will find a friend.
Glad to have you on the team, Rex.
Let's go. I hate to keep Fist waiting.
Now, if I went to Rex first, Rex would recommend getting Garrus. And of course, Rex's little quote, seek the enemy of the enemy will find a friend. Humans have that version of that saying too. It's the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And since we're just going to, actually let's go to the elevator. I want to hear what Rex and Garrus will say to each other. But first... So you'll notice that when I did the squad selection, sorry I skipped past that bit, you'll notice that there are 3 bars below the below the team listing.
In light of the recent attack on Eden Prime, many colonial investors are pulling their support for future projects. Proponents of expanded human colonization insist that Eden Prime was an isolated case. Nevertheless, colonist enrollment has dropped sharply.
Sorry, it's just annoying banter. Anyways, as I was saying, you'll notice 3 bars under the squad names. I'm sorry I didn't get you a chance to show you that. But after this little situation here, and when I go visit Fist, you will get to see what I'm talking about. And Fist first. Excuse me. But you'll notice that each squad member has a certain skill set. If you haven't noticed that already. And of course I know I got to him because... No, you got to that keeper because I passed through here after the council meeting. Which is just it's just... Whoa, did you see that? This is going to get ugly. Oops. I should give Rex this.
Looks like it's shut down.
Fist knows we're coming.
Of course he does. Just like, you know, one second he was standing, the next oh yeah, I forgot. When I have certain squad members with me, I usually have them use up what they're proficient in. Sometimes they switch to others. Like Garrus is not proficient in the shotgun, Rex is not proficient in the sniper rifle, but occasionally I will see them use these weapons that they can't use. Let's have that.
Stop right there! Don't come any closer!
Warehouse workers. All the real guards must be dead.
Stay back or we'll shoot.
This would be a good time to find somewhere else to work.
Yeah, right. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I never liked Fist anyway.
Good.
It would have been quicker to just kill them.
Shooting people isn't always the answer.
Agreed, Darius. Now let's open this up. Right, I don't have the only jump. Centaur and Avenger, yes! Now, yes, you will see me erase some of the items, reduce them into Omnigel. For now, just moving forward. Okay. Let's finish this. Oh, damn it. Enemies everywhere! I did not pay attention.
Wait! Don't kill me, I surrender!
Where's the Quarian?
She's not here. I don't know where she is. That's the truth.
He's no use to you now. Let me kill him.
Wait! I don't know where the Quarian is, but I know where you can find her. The Quarian isn't here. Said you'd only deal with the Shadow Broker himself.
Face to face? Impossible. Even I was hired through an agent.
Nobody meets the Shadow Broker. Ever. Even I don't know his true identity. But she didn't know that. I told her I'd set a meeting up. But when she shows up, it'll be Saren's men waiting for her.
Give me the location. Now.
Here on the wards, the back alley by the markets. She's supposed to meet them right now. You can make it if you hurry. What are you doing?
The Shadow Broker paid me to kill him. I don't leave jobs half done.
We don't shoot unarmed prisoners.
How many people died because of him? He brought this on himself. Besides, we have more pressing concerns.
That Quarian's dead if we don't go now.
Thankfully, I don't have to go very far. So I can still pilfer. Oh, shit. To collect chemical rounds now. So I can finally add something to this. Okay, ready to go. So here's what happens when you add ammo effects. Or rather, ammo upgrades. See? It's cool, right? Oops. That was kind of
All targets down.
Doesn't mean I'm going to put this thing away. You still have to be with Quarian. Oops.
Did you bring it?
Where's the Shadow Broker? Where's Fist?
They'll be here. Where's the evidence?
No way. The deal's off.
going to examine equipment. Incendiary explosive. That. Sweet!
Fist set me up. I knew I couldn't trust him.
Were you hurt in the fight?
I know how to look after myself. Not that I don't appreciate the help. Who are you?
My name's Shepard. I'm looking for evidence to prove Saren's a traitor.
Then I have a chance to repay you for saving my life. But not here. We need to go somewhere safe.
We could take her to the human embassy. Your ambassador will want to see this anyway.
Actually, he'd want to blame me for, shit going on.
You're not making my life easy, Shepard. Firefights in the wards, an all-out assault on Korra's den. Do you know how many... Who's this? The Quarian? What are you up to, Shepard?
Making your day, Ambassador. She has information linking Saren to the Geth.
Really? Maybe you better start at the beginning, Miss...
My name is Tali. Tali Zora Naraya.
We don't see many Quarians here. Why did you leave the flotilla?
I was on my pilgrimage. My rite of passage into adulthood.
I've never heard of this before.
It is a tradition among my people. When we reach maturity, we leave the ships of our parents and our people behind. Alone, we search the stars, only returning to the flotilla once we have discovered something of value. In this way, we prove ourselves worthy of adulthood.
Interesting.
What kinds of things do you look for?
It could be resources like food or fuel, or some type of useful technology, or even knowledge that will make life easier on the flotilla. Through our pilgrimage, we prove that we will contribute to the community, rather than being a burden on our limited resources.
Tell us what you found.
During my travels, I began hearing reports of Geth. Since they drove my people into exile, the Geth have never ventured beyond the Veil. I was curious. I tracked a patrol of Geth to an uncharted world. I waited for one to become separated from its unit. Then I disabled it and removed its memory core.
I thought the Geth fried their memory cores when they died. Some kind of defense mechanism.
How did you manage to preserve the memory core?
My people created the Geth. If you're quick, careful, and lucky, small caches of data can sometimes be saved. Most of the core was wiped clean, but I salvaged something from its audio banks.
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
That's Saren's voice. This proves he was involved in the attack.
He said Eden Prime brought him one step closer to finding the conduit. Any idea what that means?
The conduit must have something to do with the beacon. Maybe it's some kind of Prothean technology. Like a weapon.
Wait, there's more. Saren wasn't working alone.
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
And one step closer to the return of the Reapers.
I don't recognize that other voice, the one talking about Reapers.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
According to the memory core, the Reapers were a hyper-advanced machine race that existed 50,000 years ago. The Reapers hunted the Protheans to total extinction, and then they vanished. At least, that's what the Geth believe.
Sounds a little far-fetched.
The vision on Eden Prime. I understand it now. I saw the Protheans being wiped out by the Reapers.
The Geth revere the Reapers as gods, the pinnacle of non-organic life. And they believe Saren knows how to bring the Reapers back.
The Council is just going to love this.
The Reapers are a threat to every species in Citadel space. We have to tell them.
No matter what they think about the rest of this, those audio files prove Saren's a traitor.
The Captain's right. We need to present this to the Council right away.
What about her? The Quarian?
My name is Tali. You saw me in the alley, Commander. You know what I can do. Let me come with you.
I thought you were on your pilgrimage.
The pilgrimage proves we are willing to give of ourselves for the greater good. What does it say about me if I turn my back on this? Saren is a danger to the entire galaxy. My pilgrimage can wait.
I'll take all the help I can get.
Thanks. You won't regret this.
Anderson and I will go ahead to get things ready with the council. Take a few minutes to collect yourself, then meet us in the tower.
So here's what I accidentally missed. So there's the current squad down below. You can see there's combat strength, which is in red. Tech strength, which is blue. And biotic strength, which is magenta or lilac, I guess. And there's technically a sign. For God's sake. Now, as you can see, the squad makeup is a variation of all 6 classes that we saw in the very first video. We've got Soldier here, Sentinel here, a Vanguard here, Infiltrator here, Engineer here, and this one in the center is obviously going to be an Adept. She comes later. Oops. Tally. Now you see why I have this set up now. Further down the road. And it's not even that far. Let's upgrade. Now again, decryption and electronics will be the primary focus for my tech classes. Let's go decryption. So I'll go into detail about this next bit later. For now, we'll continue. Actually, I'll say it now. The squad makeup will make a difference further down the line. I believe we covered this when we were on Eden Prime. Because you noticed there was a case that I couldn't get into because my skills in electronics or decryption was too low. This has changed if you have a tech-based character, now you have a tech-based squad member in your team.
Excuse me, Commander Shepard. Could you spare a moment of your time? Commander Shepard, my name is Samesh Bhatia. Forgive the intrusion, but I have nowhere else to turn.
It's no trouble. What can I do for you?
My wife was a Marine. She was in the 212 on Eden Prime.
Wait, the 212? Your wife was serviceman Nirali Bhatia. I'm Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams. I served in her unit.
Chief Williams, it is a pleasure. Nirali spoke of you with great respect.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Mr. Bhatia. Nirali was a good woman. What can we do for you?
I've requested that my wife's body be returned to me for cremation, but the military has refused my request.
Why did they refuse your request? There's got to be some reason.
I don't know. All I know is that they have declared it impossible for my wife to be returned to me.
There's no reason for your wife's body to be held like this. Just wait here.
The man in charge of my case is Mr. Bosker. When I last saw him, he was in the expensive bar over there. Thank you for your time. I just want to give my wife a proper funeral, and the respect she deserves.
I'll see to that she gets that. So I don't know what happened, it just automatically skipped. I'm just going in here just in case there's a... Yep. Keep it that I didn't scan. Oh, right. I don't think there's one here. can't remember, but clearly there's not. But there is one back here. Hello. Now I've only completed this once, so it might be a bit of a pain for me to go back. I'm not going to hunt down all the keepers at one time.
My goodness, you're Commander Shepard. Your activities made for quite a briefing in the Diplomatic Corps. Is there something I can do to assist you?
Yes. A man named Samesh Bhatia is having some trouble claiming his wife's body.
Ah, Mr. Bhatia. A good man in an understandably frustrating position. I wish I could help him. Serviceman Nirali Bhatia died on Eden Prime, as Mr. Bhatia no doubt told you. Her wounds are inconsistent with any type of weapon damage we've seen before. That is why her body is being held.
Wait, what?
You think her body might be dangerous or contaminated?
No, Commander. Nirali Bhatia is not dangerous. Her body is in fact extremely valuable to the Alliance. The tests we're conducting may lead to better defenses against Geth attacks. Respectfully, Serviceman Bhatia may save more lives in death than she did in life.
How long do you think the research is going to take?
This is a long-term study. I wouldn't expect the bodies to be released for a year or longer.
Yeah, how do you preserve them for that, though?
You've got to have a lot of bodies. Can't you release one?
Very few bodies had this new type of weapon damage, and very few were in good enough condition to study. Beyond that, Commander, we need as many bodies as we can to get a reasonable sample size.
When will this research result in actual new technology?
If we're lucky, we'll actually realize usable technology from this study in a few years.
Not of course, since I'm Paragon.
I understand what you're trying to do, but holding the body is wrong.
Commander, you of all people should understand how far we must go to protect humanity.
I do.
Not if we lose our humanity in the process. I'm out there fighting to stop crap like this.
All right, Commander. You win. It was hard enough refusing Mr. Bhatia. I'm not going to risk an incident by refusing you. Tell Samesh that the body is being shipped back to Earth. I'll go now to see to it myself.
Thank you, sir. Sorry I had to push so hard for that. Test me. Now we talk to Samesh. And I try and figure out two things. Why that Asari in the yellow dress keeps, you know, walking and then jogging
Hello again,
backwards.
Commander. Has there been any word?
I reminded Mr. Bosker what we're fighting for. Your wife is coming home.
Thank you. I will return home and begin my preparations. It does not bring me happiness, but it may bring me peace. Goodbye, Commander.
Samesh, I don't know if this helps, but your wife, Nirali, loved you very much. She missed your cooking, and she played recordings of you every night before she went to sleep.
I know, Miss Williams. But thank you. It's nice to hear it again.
Situations like that sort of, you know, they hit the feels for sure. Because, you know, on one hand it's sweet that they have moments of remembrance. But on another, you know, on the other hand, it's also really sad to know that people with relatives in the military or people who've lost relatives to any situation whatsoever, that they'll never see them again. And
I've had my office rearranged 5 times.
of course it's tragic, and it's nice that some people can get some closure. Yeah, that's what I'd say. I don't think I came here yet. Just in case I haven't. Huh. In case you're wondering, that's a Kurgan statue.
Welcome to Presidium Tourism Terminal 3. Here in the financial district, a number of businesses offer various goods and services to their exclusive clientele. The statue you see before you was commissioned to honor the Krogan soldiers who gave their lives to protect Citadel space during the Rachni Wars. In the aftermath of the Krogan rebellions, several embassies petitioned to have the statue removed. However, this motion was eventually quashed by the Council.
Tell me more about the Krogan rebellions.
In recognition of their efforts during the Rachni Wars, the Krogan were granted several new colony worlds by the Council. Over the next 400 years, the Krogan species began to expand. Blessed with an extremely high birth rate, their numbers began to swell. Faced with a critical overpopulation crisis, the Krogan started a violent colonization of nearby worlds inhabited by other Council species. The Krogan rebellions had begun. For a full century, the Council and its member species fought to bring the Krogan under control. With the aid of the newly discovered Turian Empire, they were ultimately successful.
Should have had Rex and Garrus for this.
You needed the Krogan to stop the Rachni, then you needed the Turians to stop the Krogan. So who's gonna stop the Turians?
I am sorry, but that question is beyond my programming parameters. The Turians are members of the Citadel Council. They are not a threat to galactic peace.
Actually, the answer was apparently humans. I'm sorry, that was just a joke.
Why did the Council fight so hard to keep the statue?
The Krogan were instrumental in saving the galaxy from the Rachni threat. The Council believed this historical fact should not be forgotten. The Council also hoped that preserving the memorial would improve diplomatic relations with the Krogan and bring about a peaceful resolution to the rebellions. Unfortunately, the Krogan refused to negotiate and only surrendered after their population and homeworlds had been ravaged by the Turians.
I am not going to say Southern rights, but I will say this. I do agree that the statue should remain.
What were the Rachni Wars?
Nearly 2,200 years ago, explorers seeking to expand Citadel space opened up mass relays leading to systems controlled by the Rachni. A highly intelligent and aggressive insect race, the Rachni unleashed a war of conquest against the rest of the galaxy that lasted for nearly 3 centuries. The emergence of the Krogan finally turned the tide in favor of the Citadel species. Krogan forces provided the numbers necessary to halt the Rachni advance and drive them back. The Krogan then pursued their retreating fleets. Able to survive the harsh environments of the Rachni homeworlds, the Krogan hunted their enemy to extinction.
Was it really necessary to wipe them out?
I am sorry, but a value judgment of that nature goes beyond my programming.
That's all for now.
Thank you for using Avina. Have a pleasant day.
I see the Krogan as a perfect example of a double-edged choice, like double-edged sword choice by the Council, because in actuality the Solarians uplifted them and allowed them to advance faster than nature intended. So when the Krogan were brought into the Rachni Wars, they were essentially cavemen with nuclear missiles. Which, yeah, you can imagine that was rather genius on their parts for the smartest race in the galaxy. So naturally you can assume that the Krogan rebellions were inevitable because, you give a caveman a super advanced weapon, it makes things too easy, so they haven't quite evolved out of the hunt mindset that they need to prove themselves through challenge and through game, if you get what I'm saying. So naturally, the Krogan rebellions were possibly, inevitable. However, I do sympathize with the Krogan greatly because, whilst yes, the Krogan rebellions were partially on them, and yes, some of the shit that the Krogan get dumped on them, the prejudice that they face, yada yada yada, that is partially at fault of the Krogan, but it's also the fault of other races as well, and they do suffer greatly because of it.
I'm gonna enjoy the look on the Council's face when they see evidence they can't just ignore.
If the evidence is worth trying to kill me for, I
it is. I don't want to think of it like that, Tally. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. A while back, just a couple days ago actually, I saw a thing on Google where Jennifer Hale, the voice actress for FemShep, suggested a Tally FemShep romance in Mass Effect 2. You know, dive into that another time. Just wanted to address it, let you guys talk about that. That's kind of jumped the gun actually, so that's my fat mouth, sorry. But now we get to present evidence that the Council cannot turn a blind eye to. Despite the fact that, you know, they would want to.
Maybe.
And in all honesty, I don't entirely blame them because, you know, believing that one of their best agents had essentially become a criminal, that's not good to anyone's reputation, especially since, you know...
Come on. Udina's presenting the Quarians' evidence to the Council.
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
And one step closer to the return of the Reapers.
You wanted proof? There it is.
This evidence is irrefutable, Ambassador. Saren will be stripped of his Spectre status, and all efforts will be made to bring him in to answer for his crimes.
I recognize the other voice, the one speaking with Saren. Matriarch Benezia.
Who's she?
Matriarchs are powerful Asari who have entered the final stage of their lives. Revered for their wisdom and experience, they serve as guides and mentors to my people. Matriarch Benezia is a powerful biotic, and she had many followers. She will make a formidable ally for Saren.
I'm more interested in the Reapers. What do you know about them?
Only what was extracted from the Geth's memory core. The Reapers were an ancient race of machines that wiped out the Protheans. Then they vanished.
I'm going to take some time to say this. Look at the names when the counselors speak.
The Geth believe the Reapers are gods, and Saren is the prophet for their return.
We think the conduit is the key to bringing them back. Saren's searching for it. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Do we even know what this conduit is?
I see that. In the original Mass Effect game, it just said Asari Counselor, Salarian Counselor, and Turian Counselor. It did not say their names. Now they've included it.
Saren thinks it can bring back the Reapers. That's bad enough.
Listen to what you're saying. Saren wants to bring back the machines that wiped out all life in the galaxy? Impossible. It has to be. Where did the Reapers go? Why did they vanish? How come we found no trace of their existence? If they were real, we'd have found something.
Yes, but going back to Soul Calibur 6, the truly strong remain shrouded from history.
I tried to warn you about Saren, and you refused to face the truth. Don't make the same mistake again.
This is different. You proved Saren betrayed the Council. We all agree he's using the Geth to search for the conduit, but we don't really know why.
The Reapers are obviously just a myth, Commander. A convenient lie to cover Saren's true purpose. A legend he is using to bend the Geth to his will.
Oh, for God's sake.
50,000 years ago, the Reapers wiped out all galactic civilization. If Saren finds the conduit, it will happen again.
Saren is a rogue agent on the run for his life. He no longer has the rights or resources of a Spectre. The Council has stripped him of his position.
That is not good enough. You know he's hiding somewhere in the Traverse. Send your fleet in!
A fleet cannot track down one man.
A Citadel fleet could secure the entire region, keep the Geth from attacking any more of our colonies.
Or it could trigger a war with the Terminus systems. We won't be dragged into a galactic confrontation over a few dozen human colonies.
Every time humanity asks for help, you ignore us.
Shepard's right. I'm sick of this council and its anti-human...
Ambassador, there is another solution. A way to stop Saren that does not require fleets or armies.
No, it's too soon. Humanity is not ready for the responsibilities that come with joining the Spectres.
You don't have to send a fleet into the Traverse, and the Ambassador gets his human Spectre. Everybody's happy.
Everybody wins. So what has this brought us?
Commander Shepard, step forward. It is the decision of the Council that you be granted all the powers and privileges of the Special Tactics and Reconnaissance Branch of the Citadel.
Spectres are not trained, but chosen. Individuals forged in the fire of service and battle. Those whose actions elevate them above the rank and file.
Spectres are an ideal, a symbol, the embodiment of courage, determination, and self-reliance. They are the right hand of the Council, instruments of our will.
Spectres bear a great burden. They are protectors of galactic peace, both our first and last line of defense. The safety of the galaxy is theirs to uphold.
You are the first human Spectre, Commander. This is a great accomplishment for you and your entire species.
I'm honored, Counselor.
We're sending you into the Traverse after Saren. He's a fugitive from justice, so you are authorized to use any means necessary to apprehend or eliminate him.
Any idea where to find him?
We will forward any relevant files to Ambassador Udina.
This meeting of the Council is adjourned.
Congratulations, Commander.
We've got a lot of work to do, Shepard. You're going to need a ship, a crew, supplies.
You'll get access to special equipment and training now. You should go down to the C-Sec Academy and speak to the Spectre Requisitions Officer.
Anderson, come with me. I'll need your help to set all this up.
That's what I'm looking for. The Achievement Spectre inductee. Duke.
I thought the ambassador would be a little more grateful. He didn't even thank you.
Until I find Saren, I haven't done anything. Come on.
Right behind you, Commander.
He's gonna put the... I am now a Spectre! Yay! Alright, so as you can see, now I have a new thing. I have Spectre training. And, without even including it, I have +1 in Intimidate. Which is ridiculous. Mostly because I don't run my characters with the Renegade option. So now that I'm a Spectre, I get to head down to C-Sec. Which is in the walls, obviously. And there's a room that I avoided when I initially walked in because, well, I didn't think I could access anything from that spot anyways. Now we're going to figure out what it will be like once I go down there. Rather, I know the answer to this, but you guys might not. Oh yeah, Keeper.
One sec, looking you up.
His left hand. See his fingers?
Commander Shepard, here with the Alliance military. First time on the Citadel, that about right?
It's like the Turian's double jointed.
How did you know all that?
I'm the C-Sec Requisitions Officer. I need to make sure our buyers are authorized. So, will you be purchasing anything today, Commander Shepard?
Show me what you've got.
Sounds good. Just let me set you up. Oh, this must be a mistake. System's telling me to offer you our select stock. Spectre? Well, I heard about that, but I didn't realize it was you. Sorry, Commander.
Just show me what you've got.
I'll open the rare stocks for you, Commander. Enjoy.
Sounded a little bit cross when he said just show me what you got. Show me what you got! For those of you that don't get it, that was a reference from Rick and Morty, season 2, I believe, where these giant heads start slowly getting closer to Earth, just saying, "Show me what you got! Show me what you got!" Okay. Now I have a new license, and these weapons here, these are my favorites, but clearly I'm nowhere close to affording that. Let's see, what can I tell? Why is this marked as trash? I'll figure it out when I get back onto the ship. This I'm going to sell. Without second thought. Oh yeah, I forgot. Right. Ashley. Wait, seriously? I gave her a rifle. Nope. And Tally. Scimitar. Right, save that for someone else. Scanned it. For God's sake. And now we go on to this elevator, which takes
In other
us...
news, Exogeny Corp is still denying reports that one of their survey teams has gone missing in the Hades Gamma Cluster. When asked why communication with the survey team was suddenly cut off last week, company officials refused to comment.
Oh god, is this the same Exogeny I'm thinking of? Edina.
I've got big news for you, Shepard. Captain Anderson is stepping down as commanding officer of the Normandy. The ship is yours now.
She's quick and quiet, and you know the crew. Perfect ship for a Spectre. Treat her well, Commander.
I'll take good care of her, sir.
I know you will, Commander.
I want the truth. Why are you stepping down, sir?
You needed your own ship. A Spectre can't answer to anyone but the Council. And it's time for me to step down.
Come clean with me, Captain. You owe me that much.
I was in your shoes 20 years ago, Shepard. They were considering me for the Spectres.
Why didn't you ever mention this?
What was I supposed to say? I could have been a Spectre, but I blew it? I failed, Commander. It's not something I'm proud of. Ask me later and I'll tell you the whole story. For now, all you need to know is, I was sent on a mission with Saren, and he made sure the Council rejected me. I had my shot. It came and went. Now you have a chance to make up for my mistakes.
I feel bad for Anderson, because he certainly deserves to be a Spectre more than any other human I can think of.
I won't let you down, sir.
Saren's gone. Don't even try to find him. But we know what he's after. The Conduit. He's got us Geth scouring the Traverse looking for clues.
We had reports of Geth in the Pharos system shortly before our colony there dropped out of contact, and there have been sightings around Noveria.
Find out what Saren was after on Pharos and Noveria. Maybe you can figure out where the Conduit is before he does.
The Reapers are the real threat.
I'm with the Council on this one, Shepard. I'm not sure they even exist.
But if they do exist, the Conduit's the key to bringing them back. Stop Saren from getting the Conduit, and we stop the Reapers from returning.
I'll stop him.
We have one more lead. Matriarch Benezia, the other voice in that recording. She has a daughter, a scientist who specializes in the Protheans. We don't know if she's involved, but it might be a good idea to try and find her. See what she knows. Her name's Liara, Dr. Liara Tassoni. We have reports she was exploring an archaeological dig on one of the uncharted worlds in the Artemis Tau cluster.
Sounds like we should head for the Artemis Tau cluster.
It's your decision, Commander. You're a Spectre now. You don't answer to us.
But your actions still reflect on humanity as a whole. You make a mess and I get stuck cleaning it up.
I'll try not to make things any harder on you, Ambassador.
Glad to hear it, Commander. Remember, you were a human long before you were a Spectre. I have a meeting to get to. Captain Anderson can answer any questions you might have.
Or you want me to just, cut my wrist, show you my arm, say, this is my blood, it's red like yours? Seriously? It's not like that's going to be hard to forget. Oh yeah, I forgot. Go to inspect and talk to David.
Yes, Commander?
How are you holding up?
Honestly, this isn't how I pictured my career coming to an end. Pushing papers really isn't my thing, but you're the one who can stop Saren. I believe in you, Shepard. If that means I have to step aside, so be it.
What do you know about the Artemis Tau cluster?
Not much. I've never been there myself. A handful of systems with a few small, uncharted worlds, but no real colonies. Might not be easy finding Dr. T'Soni out there. My advice is to look for the world with the Prothean ruins.
Any extra intel you can give me on our colony at Pharos?
The entire planet used to be one giant Prothean city. Mostly ruins now. But some of the infrastructure is still intact. The colony tried to build on what the Protheans left behind. We lost all contact with them when the Geth attacked.
What can you tell me about Noveria?
Novaria's trouble. Always has been. The whole planet's basically a center for corporations to conduct illegal research. Watch your back there, Shepard. Spectres are about the only form of Citadel authority Noveria respects. But they aren't popular.
Noveria is probably my least favorite planet, if I have to be honest. The Pharos is partially up there.
I want to know the truth about you and Saren. I want to know about the mission you were on together all those years ago.
We had intel on a rogue scientist being funded by Batarian interests. He was trying to set up a facility to develop illegal AI technology out in the Verge. Alliance intel had done all the work, but the Council wanted a Spectre involved. We compromised. I was assigned to help Saren in his investigation. We tracked the scientist to a refining facility on Kamala. He was hidden away somewhere inside, protected by an army of Batarian mercenaries. The plan was simple. Sneak into the plant, capture the scientist, sneak back out. Quick, quiet, and a minimum of bloodshed.
Yeah, that was the plan.
I'm guessing things didn't go as planned.
Saren and I split up to cover more ground. Then about halfway through the mission, there was a massive explosion in the refinery core. Officially, it was ruled an accident, but I think Saren detonated it on purpose to draw off the enemy guards.
How many casualties?
The explosion tore the refinery to shreds. The whole place was on fire. Black chemical clouds poured out into the atmosphere. Nobody inside survived. There was a camp for the workers and their families nearby. Between the fires and the toxic fumes, the final death count was over 500. Mostly civilians. Saren didn't care.
Fuck.
The target was eliminated. Mission accomplished. And I ended up taking the blame. That ended all talk of me joining the Spectres.
Saren caused the explosion. How'd he pin it on you?
In his report, Saren accused me of blowing his cover. He said it was my fault the guards were ready for us. He claimed that's why it turned into a massacre. Saren's report was all the proof the Council needed to kill my chances of becoming a Spectre.
And things like that that actually make me want to tear my hair out. You know, the fact that they would listen to one person's reports just because of their reputation, rather than evidence that, you know, it was all, you know, someone else.
Why'd you let him get away with it?
Who do you think the Council was going to listen to? Me? Or their best agent? I had a bad feeling about him right from the start. I should have been more careful. Maybe I could have stopped things before they got out of hand.
Yeah. It's too many maybes.
Don't blame yourself, Captain.
I don't. I blame Saren. I think he wanted things to go bad. He was looking for an excuse to blow that refinery. Maybe he just likes the violence. Maybe he was just trying to make me look bad to keep humans out of the Spectres. If so, he pulled it off.
That one time, yes.
The only thing I care about is stopping Saren.
You're right, Commander. It's no good living in the past.
I should go.
I'll be here if you need anything.
Oh, wow. That was new. And no, you won't be here. You'll be in the ambassador's office as soon as I get on the ship. So obviously I'm going to increase my charm as much as I can. At the same time... Actually, I'm going to do this. Now, Unity is a very handy skill. It's something that you will need for sure. Otherwise, you're going to be losing squad members in combat left and right, and you can't bring them back. And yes, I know I've heard the stories several thousand times each time I play through the game. But, you know, it doesn't mean I'm not going to react to it.
Stand by, shore party. Decontamination in progress.
To get in here, you need to be decontaminated. Now, surely you recognize that voice.
I heard what happened to Captain Anderson. Survives 100 battles and then gets taken down by backroom politics. Just watch your back, Commander. Things go bad on this mission, you're next on their chopping block.
Captain Anderson should be the one in charge. It's like I'm stealing the ship from him.
Yeah, the captain got screwed. But it's not like you could have stopped it. Nobody's blaming you. Everyone on this ship's behind you, Commander. 100%. Intercom's open. If you got anything you want to say to the crew, now's the time.
This is Commander Shepard speaking. We have our orders. Find Saren before he finds the conduit. I won't lie to you, crew. This mission isn't going to be easy. For too long, our species has stood apart from the others. Now it's time for us to step up and do our part for the rest of the galaxy. Time to show them what humans are made of. Our enemy knows we're coming. When we go into the Traverse, Saren's followers will be waiting for us. But we'll be ready for them, too. Humanity needs to do this. Not just for our own sake, but for the sake of every other species in Citadel space. Saren must be stopped. And I promise you all, we will stop him.
Well said, Commander. Captain will be proud.
The captain gave up everything so I could have this chance. We can't fail.
Yes, sir.
Oh no, come on, you gotta let the music trail over. The hell? That's not fair. So now I will say this. First I'll go to the Artemis Tower cluster, and then I will do lots of side missions. As far as the main ones go, those I will actually save. You know, until I've completed enough of these, like this next few I have.
If anyone has to take over for Captain Anderson, I'm glad it's you. I'm not sure about having non-humans on our ship, though.
We're all on the same team here, Presley.
With all due respect, sir, that's what they said about Nihilus. Look how that turned out.
Speak freely, Presley. I want to know if you have a problem with non-humans.
It's not that, Commander. Humanity has always handled its own problems. Saren attacked one of our colonies. We should be the ones to stop him. We don't need their help.
Yes,
Some people think asking for help is a sign of weakness. That's just being stupid and stubborn. No matter how strong you are, allies can make you stronger.
I guess so. Maybe I'm just stuck in the old ways of thinking. But don't worry, Commander, this won't be a problem.
Yeah.
How did you end up assigned to the Normandy?
I signed up with the Alliance as a navigator right out of school, following in my grandfather's footsteps, I guess. My first posting was on the Agincourt. We were one of the first reinforcements to arrive at Elysium after the Blitz hit, and those raiders were no match for an Alliance frigate. Of course, the only reason the colony was still standing was because of you, Commander. I can't believe you held out as long as you did.
How'd you end up on the Normandy?
I got my officer's commission after Elysium. Must have made an impression on the right people. Captain asked for me when he was picking his crew.
Carry on, Presley.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Now I have to ask, how did he, like, what rank was he before he got his officer's commission? Because now he's the XO of the Normandy. Which, for those of you that don't know, the XO is the first officer, the person just below the captain. That if the captain falls, the XO is in charge. Now, Dr. Chuckles has the same usual stuff to ask. I haven't really asked for anything new. Okay, then we'll be next. Okay.
Anything you need, Commander?
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I've wasted enough of your time for now, Commander. We'll have time for personal debriefings later.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
I don't see how we could have done things any better. At least not without getting to Eden Prime sooner. And we were on the scene faster than any other Alliance ship could have been.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
No, usually Caden will say the same sort of stuff. You know, when he's looking for it. Like when Shepard's looking for inputs. You know, I wasted enough of your time, Commander. At least that's usually with the male Shepard. And you know, the tactical appraisal is the only unique conversation thing that Caden and Ashley have. Because they provide input on the latest major mission that you
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Right, Garrus is unique. Occasionally when I have conversations with Garrus, he just, you know, he's like a passerby.
Thanks for bringing me on board, Commander. I knew working with a Spectre would be better than life at CSEC.
Have you worked with a Spectre before?
Well, no, but I know what they're like. Spectres make their own rules. You're free to handle things your way. At CSEC, you're buried by rules. The damn bureaucrats are always on your back.
For the most part, the rules are there for a reason.
Maybe. But sometimes it feels like the rules are only there to stop me from doing my work. If I'm trying to take down a suspect, it shouldn't matter how I do it, as long as I do it.
But CSEC wants it done their way. Protocol and procedure come first. That's why I left.
Now, see, I understand Garrus's frustration because a lot of police officers and a lot of people complain about the rules getting in their way. But at the same time, you know, his intentions are pure. He wants to do, like, he wants to uphold the law and he wants to help.
So you just quit because you didn't like the way they do things?
There's more to it than that. It didn't start out bad, but as I rose in ranks, I got saddled with more and more red tape. CSEC's handling of Saren was typical. I just couldn't take it anymore. I hate leaving.
I hope you made the right choice. I'd hate for you to regret it later.
Well, that's sort of why I teamed up with you. It's a chance for me to get off the Citadel, see how things are done outside CSEC. Either way, I plan to make the most of this.
And without CSEC headquarters looking over my shoulder, well, maybe I can get the job done my way for a change.
If getting the job done means endangering innocent people, then no. We get the job done right, not fast. Got it?
I wasn't trying to. I understand.
Garrus. I'm sorry, man. I mean, I like you, but, you know, you had to make sure your head's level. Ashley?
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
I'm sorry, Commander. I need to get my duties squared away. I wouldn't mind talking more later, though.
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Kinda wish you'd got there sooner, Commander. No offense, I appreciate the rescue. I just wish...
You wish we'd been able to save the rest of your unit?
Yes, sir. If I had been more alert, we wouldn't have been cut down by an ambush.
The Geth are perfect ambushers. They don't move, they don't make noise, they don't even breathe.
Sir, they have flashlight heads. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, okay, touche with the flashlight.
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
But some of them have cloaking technology, so you can't exactly, you know, stand by the flashlight head statement forever. Rex?
Nice ship you've got, Shepard. What can I do for you?
What's your story, Rex?
There's no story. Go ask the Quarian if you want stories.
Ah, she's next.
You Krogan live for centuries. Don't tell me you haven't had a few interesting adventures.
Well, there was this one time the Turians almost wiped out our entire race. That was fun.
I heard about that. You know, they almost did the same to us.
It's not the same.
No, it
seems pretty much the same to me.
So your people were infected with a genetic mutation? An infection that makes only a few in 1,000 children survive birth? And I suppose it's destroying your entire species?
Yeah.
I suppose it isn't all the same.
I don't expect you to understand, But don't compare humanity's fate with the Krogan.
I was just making conversation. I wasn't trying to upset you.
Your ignorance doesn't upset me, Shepard. As for the Krogan, I gave up on them long ago. The genophage infected us, but it's not what's killing us.
On that note...
What can you tell me about the genophage?
Ask the Solarians if you want details. They made it. All I know, it makes breeding nearly impossible. Thousands die in stillbirth, and most never get that far. Every Krogan is infected. Every one. And no one's rushing to find a cure.
Why don't the Krogan try to find a cure?
When was the last time you saw a Krogan scientist? You ask a Krogan, would he rather find a cure for the genophage or fight for credits? He'll choose fighting every time. It's just who we are, Shepard. I can't change that. Nobody can.
That's something else I blame on the Solarians, because the Solarians uplifted them for the purpose of
Are
fighting.
your people really dying?
We're sure not getting any stronger. We're too spread out. None of us are interested in staying in our own system.
Lots of species have left their homes and prospered.
But they go to colonize new worlds. We're not settlers. We're warriors. We want to fight. So we leave. Hire ourselves out. And most of us never go back.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Now here's my insights on the genophage. The genophage is essentially a genetic mutation, given to every Krogan, which was designed by the Solarians as a response to the Krogan rebellions because the fighting was so intense that the Turians were eventually about to be overwhelmed. The Turians distributed it, but the Solarians came up with the actual device, or the actual genetic mutation. I know how it spread, but we don't know yet, as this game identifies. And unfortunately, that was 400 years ago, so every Krogan has it, and no Krogan knows what it's like to not live without it. Well, actually, sorry, correction. Krogans do know what it's like to live without it. Some of them do because they can live up to over 1,000 years, if I recall correctly. Now, before we go, going to have chats with every crew member.
Hey, Commander, you know that Quarian, Tali? She's been spending all her time down here asking me about our engines.
I'll tell her to leave you alone.
What? No, she's amazing. I wish my guys were half as smart as she is. Give her a month on board and she'll know more about our engines than I do. She's got a real knack for technology, that one. I can see why you wanted her to come along.
Oh, yeah.
I figured she'd be a real asset to the team.
You got an eye for talent, Commander, but I'm guessing that's not why you came down here.
Not entirely.
Fill me in on the IES stealth system. How does it work exactly?
You can't hide a ship out in space. They emit too much heat and radiation. Too easy for sensors to pick them up, unless you find a way to capture those emissions. So our stealth systems trap the energy we give off in storage sinks built into the ship itself. No emissions to give away our location. Eventually the sinks have to be vented. More than a few hours silent running and they overheat. Cook us inside our own hull.
There's no way for anyone to detect us?
A visual scan can still pick us up. Anyone looking out a window can see us plain as day. But you have to be pretty close to get an actual visual out in space. Most vessels rely on scanners. As long as the stealth systems are engaged, they can't see us. Not unless we accelerate to FTL speeds.
Why doesn't it work with faster-than-light travel?
Cranking up to FTL blue shifts our emissions, pushes them into frequencies too high to capture in the sinks. As soon as we make the jump, it's like setting off a flare. Sensors can pick up our location whenever we enter or exit FTL flight, but for short-range missions, our stealth systems are amazing, and we've got the only one.
I'm going to say this really quickly. I'm glad that they did that, because I didn't realize what FTL was until Shepard asked, faster than the light.
Where else have you served, Adams?
If you name a class of Alliance ship, I've probably served on it. Everything from dreadnoughts and carriers right down to frigates like the Normandy. My last assignment was on the Tokyo, only a cruiser, but she was a good ship. Couldn't hold a candle to the Normandy, though.
No ship can.
I want to know more about the Normandy.
She's the best ship I've ever served on, probably the fastest vessel ever designed. And she's the only one using the new Tantalus drive core.
What's so special about the Tantalus drive core?
Proportionally, it's about twice the size of any other vessel. Not only are we faster, we can run at FTL speeds longer before we have to discharge the core.
Carry on, Adams.
Aye, aye, Commander.
This thing is pretty massive, to be honest.
Your ship's amazing, Shepard. I've never seen a drive core like this before. I can't believe you were able to fit it into a ship this small. I'm starting to understand why you humans have been so successful. I had no idea Alliance vessels were so advanced.
The Normandy's a prototype. Cutting-edge technology.
A month ago, I was patching a makeshift fuel line into a converted tug ship in the flotilla. Now, I'm sitting on board one of the most advanced vessels in Citadel space. I have to thank you again for bringing me along. Traveling on a vessel like this is a dream come true for me.
I had no idea you found ship technology so interesting.
It comes with being a Quarian. The migrant fleet is the key to the survival of my people. Ships are our most valuable resource. But we don't have anything like this. We make do with cast-offs and second-hand equipment. We just try to keep them running for as long as we can. Some of the fleet's larger vessels date all the way back to our original flight from the Geth.
I can't believe your fleet's still using ships that are 3 centuries old.
They're constantly being repaired, modified, and refitted. They aren't pretty, but they work. Mostly. We've tried to make ourselves as independent as possible on the flotilla. Grow our own food, mine, and process our own fuel. But some things we just can't make on our own. A patch to maintain the hull integrity requires raw materials we just don't have. That's why our pilgrimages are so important.
A little bit of info.
Tell me about your people.
Our lives aren't easy. Resources are scarce, and we are constantly on the move. Everything we do must in some way contribute to the continuation of the migrant fleet. There are 17 million Quarians in the flotilla, and each of us relies on the others for survival. The bonds among my people are strong. Unfortunately, we have had to surrender many of the freedoms and civil liberties other species take for granted.
You see, 17 million doesn't seem like that small. You have to take this into account. This is in Mass Effect, and in Mass Effect, humanity is expanded to other colonies. So, rather than the 65 billion in population that we have now, we have a lot more in this game.
What kind of food?
Well, it's illegal for parents to have more than one child. If our population grows too much, it would strain our resources to their breaking point. Of course, we also can't allow our numbers to become too few. If our population is in decline, the rule against single births is temporarily repealed. In extreme cases of population decline, incentives are even offered to encourage multiple births, though the Conclave hasn't had to take such measures in nearly a century.
Now see, this is sort of why I liken the Quarian race to the Chinese. Because several years ago, back in the 80s, I believe, the Chinese had the same sort of rule, that only, like, that no family can have multiple children. So, the Chinese were only allowed to have one child per family, so there's no siblings.
That's your government.
The Conclave is our civilian branch of government. Each ship can elect a representative to serve on the Conclave and make decisions that affect the fleet as a whole. On matters that affect an individual ship, however, the captain has the final say. It's a tradition that dates back to the early days, when the fleet was governed by martial law. Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smart enough to have an elected council from their crew to give them advice and guidance.
It's like each ship is its own city or country.
So the ultimate power rests with elected officials.
In practice, the Conclave and the respective council for each ship tend to set the rules that govern our daily lives. But in theory, we are still under military jurisdiction. The 5 top-ranking military officials in the fleet serve on the Admiralty Board. These 5 have the power to overrule any decision by the Conclave in case of emergency. To do so requires unanimous agreement among the Admiralty, and they can only do this once. After that, the entire board must resign their posts. It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
Wow. And of course, the Admiralty Board is divided by separate admirals that represent separate different groups. So, like, there's one admiral for the civilian ships, and there's one admiral for the military, and one admiral for the science, and so on and so forth. But the Geth...
I want to know more about the Geth.
I doubt I can tell you anything you don't already know. It's been almost 3 centuries since they drove my people into exile. All I know is the story of their origins. What they were when we created them, and how they turned on us.
Now see, this is, I'm not sure if this is a benefit or a hindrance. The fact that the Quarians don't live past a century like humans. So they don't entirely know what it's like to live without masks.
Interesting.
The Geth were originally created to serve as an automated manual labor force. Initially, their intelligence was as limited as any VI. Over time, we made small modifications to their programming to allow them to perform more varied and complex tasks, bringing them closer and closer to true AI status.
Now, I view the Geth as an actual alien race because they became AIs, so they essentially became alive.
How come the Council didn't step in and stop you?
This wasn't true AI research. We may have been skirting the bounds of the law, but we never did anything that was actually illegal. The changes were so insignificant, so gradual, that we were able to control them. Or so we thought. But one thing we underestimated was the power of the neural network. A million Geth thinking simultaneously created an inherently unstable matrix.
Yeah, that's always the problem with the neural network. It's not just one mind thinking this in solitude. It's one mind thinking this and others seeing what they're thinking.
So, the Geth share brain power?
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed to work in concert with other nearby Geth. Basically, the more of them you have in a group, the smarter they are.
Exactly.
So there's some sort of group consciousness?
No, nothing like that. They cannot share sensory data or information. Their programming cannot handle that much simultaneous input. Each Geth maintains an individual awareness and identity. The neural network only operates on a process-based level. It's basically the synthetic equivalent of a subconscious. But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes, freeing up more capacity for original or independent thought.
That doesn't make any sense.
I'm probably oversimplifying. The Geth are incredibly advanced and complex creations. All you need to know is that they get smarter when they gather in large numbers. As we built more and more Geth, their effective intelligence became more sophisticated, more abstract. One day, a Geth began to ask its Quarian overseer questions about the nature of its existence. Am I alive? Why am I here? What is my purpose? As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people.
Now see, the funny thing is, I can see why the Geth did that, because if they find a way to communicate with other Geth, then they can, become more efficient. But, as you'd imagine, those 3 questions are giant red flags to anyone.
I don't see what's so bad about those questions.
The Geth were created to engage in mundane, repetitive, or dangerous manual labor. That's fine for machines, but it won't satisfy a sentient being for long. The Geth were showing signs of rudimentary self-awareness and independent thought. If the Geth were intelligent, then we were essentially using them as slaves. It was inevitable the newly sentient Geth would rebel against their situation. We knew they would rise up against us, so we acted first. A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to permanently deactivate all Geth. The Geth responded to this order violently.
Now here's the thing. I'm going to say this now, it's going to be a spoiler. The Geth never intended to rebel. So, the Quarians kind of put this on themselves.
Can't blame them for fighting for their survival.
We had no other choice. The Geth were already on the verge of revolution. By acting quickly, we had a chance to end the war before it began. The hope was that most of the Geth would still be little more than machines, incapable of organized resistance. But they had progressed much further than anyone anticipated. The war was long and bloody. Millions upon millions of Quarians died at their hands. In the end, we were forced to flee our own homeworld. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space, exile searching for a way to reclaim what was once ours.
Now see, with that sort of mindset, you have to wonder, why did the Geth never go beyond the Veil? And the answer was, because they never intended to fight. The Quarians chose to fight. You know, this is the Geth logic. Quarian creators chose to act in our destruction. We chose to act in defense of our destruction. The Quarians left. And so their purpose changed. They, you know, went back to their routine. But of course, other Geth still sought survival, and thus, well, you can see where it came.
I want to know more about the pilgrimage.
When my people reach maturity, we leave our birth ships and seek acceptance with a new crew. It's necessary to maintain genetic diversity among the fleet. But no ship wants to accept someone who will be a burden on them. So, to prove our worth, we embark on a pilgrimage. We set out alone, leaving the flotilla and our families behind us. We only return once we have found something of value we can bring back to the fleet. This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to join. If the gift is accepted, we are welcomed into the crew.
Can a captain choose to reject the gift?
That doesn't happen often. Most captains are eager to increase the size of their crew. It increases their own standing in our society. Even when a gift is not particularly valuable, the captain usually accepts it out of a sense of tradition. However, there is a stigma to presenting a substandard gift. It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community. Most pilgrims don't return until they find something worthwhile.
Well, of course, I mean, you know, if you leave your home and you try and find something of value, you come back holding a candle. Sure, not a lot of people will think that there's value behind it. Of course, the sentimentality might outweigh the rest of the experience, but, you know.
I can't believe they just send you off alone.
It's not like they just cast us out. Before we leave, we are given lessons in how to survive outside the flotilla, and given gifts to help us on our journey. We also receive implants to fight off sickness and disease. Generations of living in an isolated and highly controlled environment have left our immune systems weaker than most. By the time we leave the fleet, we are well equipped for the pilgrimage. This is a rite of passage for all Quarians. If it were dangerous, our numbers would suffer. Virtually every pilgrimage ends with a triumphant return and the ritual presentation of the gift to one of the fleet's captains.
And of course, that's how it usually goes.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
Like nothing.
I should go.
See you later.
Now, when I say some of these things, like, you know, how I blame the Quarians for the, you know, fights against Geth and how they no longer have the planets, partially, and when I say I partially blame the Solarians for the Krogan rebellions, I'm not saying that out of prejudice whatsoever. I'm saying this out of simple observation. You know, one bad apple doesn't completely spoil the bunch, and sure, the history might be unpleasant, but, you know, if you look back at history with every country, there's going to be something that no one's going to like. That doesn't mean I'm going to hold it against them forever. That's not how I live. You know, you just gotta let things go sometimes. Not worth hanging on to something forever if it's just going to drag you into negativity. But finally, the last crew member, and perhaps one of the most enjoyable to talk with, Joker.
Commander, something you need?
How's the Normandy performing? Is she everything they said she'd be?
She's the best ship in the fleet, if you've got a pilot who knows how to handle her. Balance isn't what you'd expect. Takes a while to get used to that oversized drive core we got stuffed in the back, and her power can sneak up on you if you're not careful. The Normandy's probably too much ship for your average Alliance pilot, Commander. Lucky for you, I'm anything but average.
On that subject... Sorry about that. On that
I'd like to know my
subject-
crew. Mind if I ask you a few questions?
I can see where this is going. You did a background check on me, didn't you? Well, I'll tell you the same thing I told the captain. You want me as your pilot. I'm not good. I'm not even great. I am the best damn helmsman in the Alliance fleet. Top of my class in flight school, I earned that. All those commendations in my file, I earned every single one. Those weren't given to me as charity for my disease.
Disease?
I'm sorry, Joker. I didn't even know you were sick.
You mean you didn't know? Oh, crap. Okay, I've got Vrolik syndrome, brittle bone disease. The bones in my legs never develop properly. They're basically hollow, too much force and they'll shatter. Even with crutches and my leg braces, it's hard to get around. One wrong step and crack! It's very dramatic, but I've learned to manage my condition, Commander. Put the Normandy in my hands and I'll make her dance for you. Just don't ask me to get up and dance unless, you know, you like the sound of snapping shin bone.
As he keeps saying that, you know, the bones in his legs were hollow, but the way he goes on about Vrolik syndrome, like if you listen now...
I need to know more about this Vrolik syndrome if I'm putting my ship in your hands.
Yeah, of course you do. It's an extremely rare condition. Nobody knows exactly what causes it. Genetic, maybe. It's treatable, but there's no cure. They classify my case as moderate to severe. I was born with over a dozen fractures, hip, thighs, ankles. My bones were already breaking in the womb. 100 years ago, I wouldn't have survived past my first year. Lucky for me, modern medical science has turned me into a productive member of society.
Now, see, it sort of sounds like it's not just his legs, it's other parts of his body as well.
You're not gonna break a bone trying to fly the ship, are you?
I don't fly with my feet, Commander, so I'm fine as long as I'm in this chair. I gotta be real careful when I get up to take a piss, though. I can do my job as well as anyone on the ship. Better, actually. So don't worry about it.
Oh, shit.
I'm not trying to make you uncomfortable. Let's talk about something else.
Whatever you want, Commander.
That's the one I'm looking for. Wait.
Why does everyone call you Joker?
It's a lot shorter than saying Alliance Flight Lieutenant Jeff Moreau. Plus, I love to make little children laugh.
You're dodging the question.
Look, I didn't pick the name. One of the instructors in flight school used to bug me about never smiling. She started calling me Joker, and it stuck.
You know, that actually surprised me because I thought it was because he was a comedian.
Why didn't you ever smile?
Hey, I worked my ass off in flight school, Commander. The world's not gonna hand you anything if you go around grinning like an idiot. By the end of the year, I was the best pilot in the academy, even better than the instructors, and everybody knew it. They'd all got their asses kicked by the sickly kid with the creaky little legs. One guess who was smiling at graduation?
Yeah, man.
I have to go.
All right, see ya.
See, I thought that he was cool. Like, when I first played this game, I thought that he was cool Joker because he was going to be the funny guy. You know, always making people laugh. And yes, he does have some sarcastic moments, but the way that he earned his nickname, it made it sound like he was very serious. No jokes, get the job done, focus on nothing else. You know, that sort of thing. So it's interesting to provide a little bit more insights into his history that way. And that being said, I think that we're going to end this video here, so I'm just going to save my game now and say thank you for watching. I do hope you appreciated this video. You can like, you can comment, you can share this video if you want. You can subscribe to my channel or search my channel to find more videos like this, and I'll get back to you more gameplays, vlogs, songs, things like that. If you have any questions, comment below. If you have any suggestions for videos, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, or Discord. FoxyHammer39618. Anyways, that's all I got. Thanks so much. This is Jasper Fox signing out. Cheers and stay foxy.